Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News at 1. I am Precious Amayu. We begin at the National Assembly, where any moment from now, the Senate will begin the screening of Christopher Musa, the former Chief of Defense Staff, as Minister of Defense. The Senate leader, Kweyemi Bamidele, communicated this in a statement issued by his Directorate of Media and Public Affairs on Tuesday. He said the screening is crucial to strengthening internal peace and national security. General Musa's nomination followed the resignation of Mohammed Badaru as Minister of Defense over health concerns. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday transmitted General Musa's name to the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. Mr. Bamidele said the Red Chamber is already in possession of the request of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Tinubu, to screen his Defense Minister Nominee. He said the letter will be read on the floor of the Senate on Wednesday, and that the screening will commence immediately in line with Section 147 of the Constitution. Now, joining me for more on the appointment of Christopher Musa as Minister of Defense is a criminal justice and security studies expert, Bemileke Akpata. He joins me virtually. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for having me here today.
So when the president reshuffled the service chief some weeks ago, the idea that a lot of people have was maybe General Musa was let go as a result. It may probably a capacity issue, but he's now been renominated as the Minister of Defense. I want to get to your thoughts on that renomination.
Yeah, thank you once again. And the issue we have in Nigeria is not a unique issue. Just that our approach to issues is what we always want to make unique. And that is the basis of the issues we have. And that is why we keep finding ourselves back on the same spot every time. Why we have someone that is experienced as Sidi Musa in the government. And for whatever reason that our president seems fit to let him go, now we can see that we need competent people in every aspect of the government, not why we're using teachers as a defense minister. Why don't we use a tailor for minister of education? So it shows that we need people that have experience. We need people that can boost the troop morale. We need people that the people we send to the war front can look to, and they'll have leadership that understand the struggle, that have been on the war front, that have confronted this same monster that we've been trying to eradicate for so many years. That is why I feel that the appointment of Sidi Musa is one of the appointments that I can say that President Bola Tinubu is going on the right path.
And I want to stay on the point you just raised, because that's one of the conversation has been, on whether social media or even in-person conversations, the idea that certain offices that have to do with security should be handled or should be, those who are at the helm of that office should be those who have security and defense experience. I want to get your thought on that.
It's not just about security. It should be about every aspect of Nigerian governance. It should be from the education sector down to the finance, down to commerce, down. Now that we have issues of insecurity, now that we see that having experts, having people that knows how to do the job, not just using Nigerian life as a political tool and political bargain, that if because we belong to the same party, because we're on the same ballot, that doesn't make you an expert in the field of security. And in terms of security, things change, tactics change. We've been fighting Boko Haram for so many years, and now they are in different groups, call themselves bandits and whatever name. So you expect someone that is not well seasoned in terms of security, in terms of changing modus operandi of these groups to really understand how to confront this monster. I'll give an example. During COVID, we all know that the tactics of terrorism is going to change because we have fewer terrorism going on in the world, because we have fewer people outside, we have fewer targets for terrorists to pick from. and the financing aspect of terrorism during COVID dried up, then it is very hard for the central structure to keep hold of these different cells. That is why you have so many bandits running all over the country, because they all came down from the same terrorist structure. We all know, experts forecast that. My professor
Mr.
wrote papers
Akpata,
about that.
just because of the time, I want to quickly bring in the question, because Christopher Musa is coming back at a time where we're having the rising spate of kidnapping and banditry in the country, and then we also have the U.S. Congress saying, look, what we have now in the country has a religious coloration to it. I just want to ask you what task you think is ahead of him and how confident you are that he will deliver in a very short space of time.
Yep, I do not believe that Sidi Musa have a magic wand that he can just wave around Nigeria's security issue and everything is going to be okay. But I believe that a man of that experience and a man of that knowledge, and he terrorized about a lot of things, about conspiracy from the NGOs. And I want to say to you that I believe he has the capacity to make changes. But the things that I expect him to do is to, first of all, call the meeting of commission officers, because we know that we can see their hand in some of these issues in terms of illegal mining. And is also a general. I expect him to do what Pete Hegseth did in the US by calling the meeting of the generals, the meeting of the commission officers, have a meeting with them, tell them and listen to what they have to say about the insecurity in Nigeria, and tell them to withdraw whatever personnel or interest they have in terms of the mining sites we have all over the Northeast. Right. So that when he has meeting with them, and he can also talk to the retired military personnel, I believe internally the military should be able to listen to him and come up with a strategy for us to defeat this insurgency and banditry ravaging our country.
All right, thank you so much for your time. We're waiting for that screening to start at the National Assembly, and when it does, we'll bring updates on that. Thank you, Criminal Justice and Security Studies expert, Bimileke Akpata.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.